Yes.
I'm ready as I'll ever be.
Um, we are on week 3 of the side street so long. And this week everyone is tackling half square triangles, the four at a time method, um, which is Taylor's favorite. I think every single pattern that you write, Taylor, you end up with four at a time half
Well,
square triangles in there.
it depends on the number of half square triangles. If it's
Yeah.
neatly divisible by four, or there's not like a million, then I
If
do
you
like four at a
see
time.
eight at a time half square triangles in a pattern, that means there's probably
That
going to be a lot.
there's too many to do four four at a
Yeah.
time.
Um,
Like I
but
think
yeah,
my Folkwell is that eight at a time because I have a lot of half square triangles in there.
honestly, I don't know. I feel
Same.
like it has four at a time, but
Now I want to go look, but yeah.
I feel like they were two at a time, but I'm traumatized still.
oh,
No
oh.
way. She did a
uh,
bed size Folkwell, which had like, I don't know,
it was
400
like,
half square
yeah,
triangles.
so many Huskers.
And they're really small too. They're like two and a half by
They're
two and
like
a
two
half
and
or
a half,
something.
yeah.
Now I need to get the pattern and see, but
Um,
you guys can continue.
but yes, everyone should be hopefully sewing or trimming by now. But no shame if you get behind. Sometimes I have quilts that I haven't even put binding on, and it's been years. So, if you have any questions about half square triangles in general, four at a time method in general, um, this would be your opportunity to ask. I think, Ashlyn, are you going to show kind of a walkthrough of how someone
Yeah,
would
I
do
have
it?
like my QVC TV like ready made to walk through the steps.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
loving the full headset is really a vibe.
My whole family's home right now, and I just like can't handle when my kids are like loud. And I don't think people can usually hear them, but I can, and it really just stresses
Yeah.
me out. So
Distracting.
I think
these are
like
like my
last
hater
time,
blockers.
yeah, last time I think my husband was like playing video games really loud in the front room. No one could hear it, but it was so distracting to me. I was like trying to text him. I was like, "Can you please turn that off?" Like in the middle of the call. I was like, "I know no one can hear this, but I can, and that's enough."
Yeah, so we will walk through a little explanation of half square triangles first with Ashlyn, and then if you have like any tips or tricks you like, then feel free to talk about them, Ashlyn. Otherwise, after that, maybe that'll spark some additional questions for everyone to ask.
Yeah, and we will be recording the tutorial part, and then once the tutorial part is done, and we're just chatting and sewing and whatever, we are going to stop the recording. So just FYI, more of a mental reminder for myself. But
Yeah,
Okay.
so if you are ready, Ashlyn, go ahead.
All right. So ironically, I know that Taylor is a four at a time half square triangle girly because at our retreat this last fall, one of our members, a friend was of ours, was making a pattern that d does four at a time, and she was just like having the worst time with it, and was like, "I just hate this method," and I was like, "It's so much faster. What do you mean?" And I was like, "I'm
Yeah.
gonna make my next one that uses half square triangles do four at a time because I'm always a two at a time girl." And I was like, well, if she hates it, surely I have to just make it a thing. But I will say for anybody that hasn't started yet, and if you have started and you've used the like assembly production way method, like the chain piecing makes it go so much faster. She was getting frustrated, my friend, our friend, because going around all four sides and then stopping, adding a new one is like slightly more time consuming, like not dramatically so. Um,
but you
but
don't have to
being
prep.
able
You
to
don't have to
chain
draw any
piece,
lines.
exactly. You don't have to do that
Yeah.
part at all. I
Yeah.
do because I'm
That's
like,
why I like it.
I don't know, kind of anal. Exactly. Like you don't have to sit through a stack this big of fabric and draw your lines if you don't want to, because at the end you're just going to line up your corners and cut. But being
Yeah.
able to do chain piecing, cut like chain piece all of your squares at once and then cut them apart and then do the next side all at once and cut them apart.
Oh, wait. That is so, I've never done it like that. Because
Yeah,
what I
it's just
usually
so
do
smooth.
when I chain pieces, I'll do all the way around, and then I will start the next one, and then I'll just clip off that old one. So like I
Okay,
chain
that makes
piece,
sense too.
but like I just like am clipping as I'm going. So it's not like one big chain, but I am not picking up my foot at all. But anyways, this is interesting.
So it is still more like cutting. But that's super fast. Like if you have one of the little standing cutter things, it's like just a
Hmm.
quick rush through your chain, and then you're back at it again with your pile, and you start the next side. And then it's just like four long chain stitches at the end. Um, and I mean it says it talks about this method in the pattern. Like there's the speedy route and just like the traditional method in most of the steps, or like the tips to do it faster. Um, and so I don't know, it's kind of hard to see, but if it's ever like a toss up and I have a light fabric and a dark fabric, I prefer to use my chalk pen on the dark fabric. I just feel like it disappears faster than lead or like a pencil. Like I know they make other colors of chalk. I just am too lazy to like buy another pencil. So I usually do white on dark fabric, and that's like my go-to marking. There was a conversation, I think it was in maybe just the general chat like a week or so ago, and they were talking about like marking tools. And some people use the um, friction pens,
Hmm.
but I'm like just a chalk and pencil kind of lover. I feel like a lot of my quilts don't get washed. Um, and they either go to a show or they're just for like samples. So having to worry about a line that's not going to disappear is a little stressful. So this is the Bohemian one. I think I jumped in on that chat. Guys, oh my gosh.
With the influencer hand.
Yeah.
I know it's. Yeah, I feel like I need like a thin chalk one like that. Oh my
Yeah, and it's mechanical. It's so
God. Nice.
spiffy.
That looks really way better than the one I have, but I
Anyway,
don't have a
do you have
actual
to
pencil
sharpen it?
sharpener, so I use an X-Acto blade. And I like try. It's so janky. I'm like, this is not.
What purchase or what pressed me to purchase this was my kids kept stealing my pencil sharpeners that I kept by my machine. And the most
Mm.
recent one was like, I was looking for it, and my oldest was like, "Oh, they took that outside and it got all rusted." And I was like, it was out there long enough to get rusted. Surely I just need a different method. Anyway, so once you have your four sides all stitched, then you're going to take your ruler and just line it up with the corners. Ah, doesn't like this clear. Anyway, you're going to cut across corner to corner and then other corner to corner so that you're left with just four half square triangle cuts. And then when you open each of those up and press them, they become your half square triangles. And then you have four. I think there's four of each, so you have 16 of each. Um, is that right? Maybe eight? I don't know.
Eight. I think eight.
It's eight. I think that makes
Yeah.
sense. Anyway, you'll have eight. Whenever I get asked questions about patterns, I'm like, I'm on a different project and I don't remember. So, you'll get these all pressed, and then there is room for cutting, or sorry, trimming. And I recommend that in most quilts. Do I always adhere to it? No. Did I do it when I was making the sample for this quilt? No. I'm a little disappointed with my points, but I fudged it enough that they worked out. So
You just say that you normally don't trim.
Yeah, that's
no,
wild. I've never,
no.
I couldn't imagine.
I like to just do my math so it's like on the spot, and
Exact.
I do two at a time usually. So
Mm,
there's not a lot of shifting.
yeah.
Um, and I can usually just like manipulate the seam.
Hmm.
But if it's like a quilt that I'm putting in work for to potentially show, then I will definitely take the time to trim. But I mean, like I want my samples to look nice, but ultimately I typically make like two of them and need to get them done quickly.
Yeah, well, I think there is plenty of trimming room for this one, so I feel like it's definitely if because there is a lot of trimming
Highly
room or like a good
recommended.
amount, it's definitely recommended to trim.
Yeah. They are
Like
they
if
are
it was
too big to
tighter,
not
then
trim. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Especially
Um,
if you have a very accurate like quarter inch seam going in your life, you're gonna want to trim them properly. And
yeah.
I think the easiest way to do that is just, it's kind of a pain in the butt to purchase a bunch of like specialty rulers, but I don't know. Also, when it comes to like supplies, I don't like having a lot of like gadgets and stuff. But one thing I really recommend is just like the basic sizes of square rulers. Like always want a 12 and a half, always want a 6.5. A 4.5 is amazing to have. 3.5
Hmm.
is also helpful. That way you can just like plop it down and just trim all around it. Another tool that I really like for these specifically is the like rotating cutting mat. I think like they're pretty popular now and most people probably have one, but if you've been hesitating and you hate half square triangles, I it will make your life easier.
Hmm. Or a just small cutting mat that you could like pick up and rotate.
True,
That way you don't have to have like I mean, I know that's probably the only reason why you would use it, unless you're like using it to like quickly trim things at your sewing machine. But if you don't want to go out and buy like a gadget,
Yeah.
then that also
You know
works.
what's you know what's funny though, because like I have a rotating mat, and for me, for some reason, I think it's the way I trim, or like I don't like having because I have to move like the little trimmed off pieces anyways, then my square ends up moving. So I'm like, I might as well just pick this up. Like I just like pick it up, move my stuff to the side and rotate it, and it takes just as much time for me as using the rotating mat.
is
But I
anybody
do,
else? Oh, sorry.
oh, I was gonna say I do like the rotating mat because it protects my actual mat from doing like the same, like cutting in like a 5 inch area where I feel like it kind of like destroys your main mat. So I like to use that to like just protect my, I don't know.
Totally. And if you want a recommendation, um, for the spinning mat, the Martelli one is pretty awesome. It has like the ball bearings, so it spins really smoothly.
Mm.
Um,
Mine
I
is
think
not
there's a
smooth.
couple
Mine
of
comes
other
apart.
brands that do. Oh, this
Like
one
it's
doesn't, unless you kind of
it
try.
literally like the top comes apart. Yeah, it's kind of annoying.
It's cool. What else was I gonna say about that? Oh, I don't know if anybody else is like a center quilter, but I also sometimes like will stack my half square triangles when I'm trimming them. I think it's frowned upon, but I like to just like sometimes do two at a time, and you can stack them and line up the center seam and have them go opposite directions,
Mm.
and then just have them be exactly the same and centered. Um, that's like a sinner hack for quilting. The quilt police would not like this recommendation. I don't even know that it's necessarily a recommendation, but if you hate half square triangles,
Yeah,
Once you get
that
in the
is true.
flow state, though, I feel
that's it
like
for my little
it's
demo, guys.
yeah.
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 I usually just am
Oh,
wanting to do my own project. So
one thing to add though is that four at a time makes the half square triangles on the bias, which is another reason why people don't love this method. So your pieces are going to be stretchy, so just handle with care.
totally. And
Mhm.
like this is like the perfect moment for the like quilting adage of like you're not ironing, you're pressing. And
Yes.
so if you're ironing back and forth, you're moving and shifting those fibers, which can sometimes work in your favor if you end up with like a wonky square. Um, but otherwise, you are not wanting to shift those. And I can't remember if I noted it at the start of the quilt, but I am a big proponent of just starching the crap out of your fabric before you cut it and not dealing with the headache of like shifting sizes and stuff when it gets added to the quilt pieces, blocks.
Yeah, you can also, when you're pressing your house square triangles, you can spray it with some starch. I use Magic Spray, which I talk about like every time. Not sponsored by them, but I love Magic Spray.
Same. They're hard to get a sponsorship with,
I
to be
like, I wish
honest.
they would sponsor me. Maybe I'll talk to them at QuiltCon.
Quilt
But
Wingman.
yeah, no, I love the Magic Spray. It's very buildable, but it helps with that shifting. So um, yeah, I buy it by like the gallon now. So highly recommend. I don't starch before I cut my fabric. I starch when I press. So it depends on.
Um, side note, how do they ship your gallon of magic? Because I have a saga of ordering them in
Oh,
the last
I
couple of
ordered.
weeks.
Okay, I ordered like two big ones. It wasn't like a full gallon. It was like two half
Oh, the
gallons
16.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know in a box.
Okay.
I don't think it was anything like I don't remember. It wasn't crazy.
I've ordered three and they keep shipping them in
Gallons.
3 gallons,
Okay.
like separately because one arrives and the lid is cracked and it punctures the seal because the box is like not big enough for it to stand up, but it's big enough for it to be like sideways in the box. And this makes it
Oh.
like top heavy and then it falls and obviously smashes and they don't put any padding in the box. And I ordered my third one and it came cracked. And I was like, I quit. Like, I'm just gonna get the medium bottles now.
Yeah, just
So,
get okay, that's good to know.
yeah, I left them some feedback. It's not even them. It's like, I don't
And
use
like you're
Amazon for a
packing
lot of things, but it is Amazon.
like you're packing.
I was
Well,
like, maybe some
Amazon
bubble
will just
wrap
like
question mark.
yeah, they use bubble wrap for everything else.
But the box is too small, so they can't fit it
But
and
I
they
wonder
think it's
if that's
safe.
just your fulfillment center. Like, I wonder if
Probably.
I order it and like what will happen.
It just comes straight from the Amazon gods directly to
Yeah,
your
I don't
door.
know. Maybe I mean, you could probably order directly from their site. I don't know if they do. Like,
Yeah. And I know like
um,
small shops sell it as well, which I should do.
I don't know if they sell by the gallon. I'm sure they do.
Yeah. I know
Maybe, but
Sotopia has in the past.
okay. Yeah, I just ordered two 16-ounce ones, and I'm almost done my second one of that now. So, anyways, we really talk about magic spray a lot. Just-
It's literal magic.
it is. And it's by the same company that does the flauntless flaunt
Like, yeah,
Flawless.
it's the like
Faultless.
the like flawless, like
the
the
clothing
gold
starch.
Faultless.
faultless. The gold can, the
Yeah.
really heavy duty spray starch.
Yeah, like the like walk into church white shirt starch.
Yeah, which I used to spray my fabric completely soaking wet of that before your
Oof.
eyes.
Oh my
I did it
goodness.
outside, don't worry.
It's like a piece of paper quilt when you're done with it.
Okay, for certain patterns, like okay, the New Year's Kiss I did that with, and that really helped. There's certain patterns where I'm like, I that is like worth the extra effort, but I wouldn't do that now. This is like beginning of my quilting career.
That's my current
Yeah.
career. Not that starch though.
Just like you do the magic spray that much.
Yeah, like the airline, like when you're on a flight and like there's this joke going around that like you want to be the best passenger and get the best passenger award. I feel like that for my long arm quilter and like I want their approval and like compliments so much on like having a nice stiff quilt top. And so it's always pretty.
Interesting.
It's like paper.
Yeah, I guess I
So
don't really think. I mean, I definitely want to hand over a nice quilt. I always feel bad when I know there's been a quilt that's like been folded for like months. And I'm like, and I hate quilt. I hate ironing a full quilt top.
it
There's,
is painful.
it's painful. It's so hard to do. There's no real easy or good way to do it. So I'll try to get like the major creases out, but I'm not. It's too late. It's a goner. It'll
I feel
flatten out
like
on their machine.
a lot of long armors have like the big sprayer that they can just like mist it and then put it on the frame and load
Yeah.
it. That way it's like, I don't know, it gets a lot of wrinkles out. But if it
Okay.
makes you feel any better, I see a lot of behind the scenes of long arming and there's some bad shape ones that come in
Yeah.
often. Not poorly pieced, just like
Just
it
like,
looks like it was crumpled in a bag and they pulled it out and they're like,
yeah.
pulled
No, I
this.
I
see.
try to keep things like folded pretty nicely, but I don't know. Most of the things like have a deadline for me. I'm like, okay, I have to finish this quilt, and then I like send it off immediately because I'm always late. So
Yeah, me too.
it's like not really. It's like I don't know. And then like the ones that take me a long time, like I have like four baby quilts that need to be quilted, and those I'll quilt myself. I don't send baby quilts out often, if ever.
Are you making
So
those for friends?
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I have a few that babies that have already come and
They're three.
are
Graduated.
they're no longer yeah, they're full blown babies now, toddlers now. So
They can
I
talk.
mean, yeah,
They have
I know. There's
401ks.
yeah.
Well, I
So
just said that I finally finished my button up for my
yes, you
almost
did.
10-month old.
It's really cute though. So
Thanks. It was the only thing that needed done. Like it was completely quilted and everything before she was
oh, you
born.
just need the binding.
I just needed to pick a binding, and man, oh man, was that choice not something my brain wanted to make.
Yeah, honestly, like I need to start cutting binding when I'm cutting the rest of my fabric because for some reason, like after my quilt's done, I never want to cut binding. And it doesn't take long and it's not difficult at all, but that's the thing that always like slows me down into binding like right away. I'm like, if I just cut immediately, like when I'm doing the rest of my fabric, then I think binding would go a lot quicker.
I'm the type of person who just totally forgets to even buy binding when I'm buying my fabric. So then I'm like,
Uh,
at the end, I'm like, what can I piece together from what I've got? And it's just always a
yeah.
mess.
Well,
And I
that
always
actually always
like,
looks good though.
A
I
scrappy
know
binding
that
is
actually happened
sick.
with a quilt I made for my nephew is I only had just enough of what I wanted to use. And then it ended up getting striped with like, it was like a dark green and it ended up getting striped with like a white. And I was like, wait, that looks really cool. I kind of want to do
Yeah.
more.
I always do that. I like, or I'll just pick one of the colors that's in the quilt and just order an extra half yard of that, or use my stash and I'll just find a color. Like I don't know. I'm not super picky about binding.
I find that it's only hard when it's like a sample and I'm using fabrics from all one company and I need to like continue that for the backing and binding.
Yeah.
And then I feel very limited in my choices. Even though they have like a vast library, I just don't like the the box that it puts me in.
Or I just like go for like a stripey binding if I like don't know, or like a fun
Yeah,
pad or something.
when
I'm
in
gonna
doubt,
stop
stripe it
recording,
out.
by the way, guys. We're
No, I want them to
just we can
hear all
just
of
chat.
this.